Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics and Lake-Sumter State College. I'm Kyle Coppola. Thanks for joining us today. I'm joined here today by Lake-Sumter State College's head volleyball coach, Alisha Wintersdorf, and Lake-Sumter State College's executive director of athletics, Padraic McMeel. Welcome both to the Sports Hub podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to great things in the upcoming 2024 and 25 season. I want to first start with Coach Wintersdorf. First of all, welcome to Lake-Sumter State College. We're so excited to have you, coach the Lakehawks, and looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, we're looking forward to great things. I mean, the program's in really good shape coming into 2024. They're coming off of a 15 and 12 season last year, so looking pretty good. You are coming over from Tavares High School, which I was able to watch them the other day, looking pretty good coming into the 2024 season. How did this all develop? How did you end up becoming the head coach of the Lakehawks?
Yeah, so I have been the head coach at Tavares for the last couple of years. Collegiate coaching has always kind of been my aspiration. A good friend of mine, which was Coach Phelps, who has been at Lake-Sumter the last several years, has done a really wonderful job with the program. I've kind of been watching her over the last several years. Mm-hmm. So when she decided to go ahead and move on, I thought this might be a great opportunity. And so that is where we are today.
And you've been in volleyball for a long time. You played in high school. You played at Leesburg High School and then graduated from there and attended Lake-Sumter State College, where you played there as well. So volleyball sort of just runs in your blood, I guess.
No, it sure does. My sister and I both played for Leesburg High School. We both played for Lake-Sumter. We both went on to play for 4-year universities. My dad was actually a previous head coach at Lake-Sumter State College, so it has been running in our veins for a long time.
Definitely. And Patrick, very exciting things. You've got Coach Wintersdorf coming on this season. We are so excited to have her here in Lake County and coaching. Of course, she coached with Tavares, but can you talk about sort of the process of getting her involved and how excited you are to have Coach Wintersdorf on board?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, as soon as we made the announcement, I had several people in the community reach out to me, concerning Alisha. And so certainly immediately on the radar. And, as we started to kind of evaluate the program and what we wanted. And so, it kind of took us longer than we wanted to a little bit with the hiring process. But I think ultimately, we were looking for someone that could take what Amanda Phelps had started and really, we've had it for a long time, but she's been here for 8 years and what she really kind of got it going. And we were just talking about our transition from Division I junior college to Division II, and she did a great job. And so then what did we want? And I think what Alisha brings to the table is 15 years of volleyball coaching experience in the Lake County area, especially in the north, side, a lot of club as well as high school, but also just her roots in the community. And, we as Lake-Sumter State College are so rooted in the community, and that's part of our mission is to be that. So when you take this opportunity for someone that's been in volleyball, knows how to coach, knows how to really develop young women. And in this particular case, that's her role. And then this idea of also having this community support, it's kind of a win-win in every situation. A lot of times when you bring a coach in, you're not sure about maybe this part or this part. And I think we've hit a home run or in her case, I guess, an ace, for the win, 15-13 in the final set, of us moving forward. So we're excited to have Alisha join us.
For sure. And Patrick mentioned that you're part of the community, you've been part of the community a long time. I think that's really a great thing, especially for the kids coming in that are going to be playing for you. You have such a community spirit here. What is it like to continue to coach at the collegiate level in Lake County?
It means a lot to me. I really want to build something in this community and in this environment, especially for volleyball. And from being around it for so long, I just really am looking forward to the opportunity to giving these girls in our community the opportunity and letting them know that that Lake Sumter is where they want to be, right?
Yeah.
I really want to bring in those high level athletes to our own community and show them, what happens when we put all of our talent level together.
For you personally, you're going obviously to a 2-year college, so it's a little different than high school where you have players for 4 years, can develop them. What has that been like, and how is that going to change? Is it going to change the way you coach at all, or?
Sure, it's a big change, and I think even between a 2-year and a 4-year school, that's a really huge difference because you don't have a whole lot of time to develop them. You kind of get them in, and a lot of times, when I was at Lake Sumter, I ended up getting recruited to D1, and that's what happens a lot of times with your talent, right? So sometimes you only have one season with them. So I think it's really just about building relationships quickly, and making sure you learn your players and what they're able to do, and then showcasing that talent so that they're able to move on if that's what they're looking to do.
Coach Wintersdorf, she mentioned that there's a minimal amount of time these kids are here, of course, but as far as academics, as far as athletics go, trying to involve them with the community and everything like that, what does that look like as far as what you're doing? Do you have any goals as far as that goes?
Yeah, I think that, whether we're 2-year or if we weren't, the fact is we are 2 years, which I think is a bonus to actually what we try to do. But we treat it like we're a 4-year institution. We may only have them for 2 years, but we're going to do that. We're going to give them the opportunity. We just hired a new strength coach, so we now have a new strength conditioning coach that's going to help them get bigger, faster, stronger. We have an academic advisor that's just focused on athletics, so can help them from the time they get, here to register for their first classes to get them to graduate, and set them up for that potential of 2 years. We do a lot of community service. Rich Billings, our baseball coach, is also kind of serves as our community service person. And, all of our programs, regardless of where they are, they do a lot of community service. And we're actually starting up this year a student athlete leadership council. So our goal really is that while we have them for the 2 years, we give them the best development we can give them academically, athletically, and even what I call personal and social, all those other things, so that when they do decide they want to go on, and they have to after 2 years, if they want to go to a 4-year, they're basically going to walk into that 4-year going, I've been doing this for the last 2 years. Yeah. And I really think we're in a situation from the 2-year that all the changes that are going on in the NCAA with the transfer portal, the NIL, it's really difficult now for freshmen to, one, be recruited, and two, to go into a 4-year and play right away. Yeah. There is so much pressure on these Division I and II schools now that they're looking to find transfers from Division I's, really good Division II transfers that'll come in for a year. So I think we're in a sweet spot where a young person come in, they can get all their development with us, they get their associate's degree, they can transfer right away, and that's the type of athlete that a lot of these D1s and D2s, NAIAs are looking for, because they're established. Yeah. So if Alisha and our other coaches are able to do that and really help those young people get bigger and faster, learn, it's amazing all the different reasons. Now they're that much more set up for success going to that 4-year school. So I think we're going to fit a great niche in the near future here. We just got to get people to understand that this is a really good, viable option for them to come, and we give scholarships and all of those things like they do. And quite frankly, we might even give some better scholarships for their first 2 years than some of the 4 years will give them.
And I think people are starting to realize that because enrollment continues to go up year after year. You've got a beautiful new groundbreaking ceremony that's going to be happening actually this week on a beautiful new academic facility there at Lake-Sumter State College. I wanted to get your thoughts as well, Coach, on the transfer portal in the college. Obviously a little different than when you played, of course, for Stetson.
Yes.
Things have changed a lot. But what are your thoughts on that, and how does Lake-Sumter State College sort of play a role?
Sure. So transferring has become a large, aspect of any sport at this point. And I do think that's a really good opportunity for state colleges, because right now, you are able to, or people want to play, right? They're going in because they want to play. And if they're not playing, then they're transferring. And that's kind of what's going on. And at a state college, you've got that opportunity, right? You've got the opportunity to come in and play right away, to build everything that you need as a student athlete, especially for those that may need a little help academically. It's not as big of a shock. So you kind of get introduced to it. You have that opportunity to grow and then get recruited to where you want to go. And then that opportunity to jump in and play right away. Yeah. So I think it's a really great opportunity for the state colleges at this time.
Absolutely. And for Lake-Sumter State College, no better time than now. Let's talk a little bit about that academic building that is coming. I believe it's $17.5 million has been put into this academic building, and the groundbreaking ceremony, of course, happening this week.
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, it's a workforce development facility, again, trying to be that, niche and that need for this community, as we help to develop the workforce, so we develop those young people that, are looking for ways to, get into that part of their chapter of their life. It's going to be a tremendous building. And, the state really helps support us on that. And so we're going to have the groundbreaking and get that thing hopefully built here quickly as we can. And it's going to have a lot of unique opportunities for this community, for students to come in and, different academic programs. It could be more on the technical side. It could be more on the academic, that pure, academics. But regardless, it's going to be a facility that will be great for Lake-Sumter State College, but it's going to be a great facility for the community. So it's going to have meeting space and things like that, also will help. And again, how do we tie our community in? So I think it's much like what we're trying to do in athletics. This is a great thing from the academic side and from just the institution and our community side to really bring another great facility to this area.
Yeah, and we're so excited about it. It's going to be a great year, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to take a short break here on the Sports Hub. When we come back, we'll talk about the golf program at Lake-Sumter State College. That's a new program this year when we return.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sports Hub podcast. We're talking with Alisha Wintersdorf, and we also have Padraic McMeel from Lake-Sumter State College with us here today. Thank you guys for coming on to the program. Padraic, we're really excited about the new golf program you have over at Lake-Sumter State College. That's something new at the college this year. Can you talk about that?
We did, yeah. We, we had started our men's and women's track teams and kind of rolled that out in a soft way a little bit last year and didn't have a lot of athletes, but ironically, our track and field team, we're going to have 40 new student athletes just in that program. So Coach Snellgrove's done a great job. And then as kind of part of that one, we also did an expansion with men's and women's golf. And, and it's a great sport to have here, certainly in Central Florida. But it took us a little bit longer to even get that one going as well. So we're really excited. We hired a coach for the program that's going to oversee both men's and women's, Meredith Yan. She's been in Mineola for about 35 years, been a teaching pro for the PGA for many years, so we're excited about that. Actually played at Miami-Dade Community College and then went to Florida International and has a son that's currently playing in the Canadian Tour and trying to get his PGA card. And so just embedded, again, in the community, understands the community, loves a lot of the golf courses. And so really excited about that. We were able to, we've got 6 young men that are going to start with the men's team. We did just, as we wanted to get this rolling and some things that happened, we're not going to start the women's team this year. We're going to let her recruit really hard, this year to kind of get that one going. So we're going to do sort of another soft launch of sorts that we'll have the men start this year. And we have 2 young men from Leesburg. We've got a young man from Claremont, 2 young men from Claremont. We have 2 from Orlando. They both went to Boone High School. And then 1 from Tallahassee, a matter of fact. So I'm excited about getting them here, and we're gonna have a pretty darn good team. I think they average anywhere from 73 to 79. So looking forward to them getting here and competing and kind of being the foundation of this program. And that's kind of what we sold them on during the recruiting. And I'm kind of disappointed one of them cut his hair because I had kind of nicknamed them the Mullet Crew, but then one went and decided to cut his hair. But really like this group of kids, really good student athletes as well, like good students. And so excited about getting that, program rolling. And then, so really with, our new coaches, we've got Alisha coming on volleyball, you got Meredith. And so getting them acclimated to, what we're doing there and that, and they're both new to college levels. So there's a lot of differences to that and just learning the policies and procedures, but really excited to get those two programs going.
And you were excited because you ended up applying for the job, you got the job, and you got your first college head coaching position. So that's really exciting. You saw what was going on at Lake-Sumter State College. Let's talk about your team coming in here. We got Cindy Hunter coming back with 90 kills last year. She was looking really good. Grace King returns for her sophomore year, and Emily Werner, she led the team in digs and I believe assists potentially there for Emily Werner. So let's talk about the team. How are they looking this year?
Sure. I'm really excited about the team that we've got. A lot of the returners are going to play a really impactful role for us. They're really, really great leaders and have done a really great job so far. We've got a lot of really talented incoming freshmen coming in, so I'm really excited to see, what we can put together. But it's especially with those three. Emily is actually one of my previous players. She played for me at Tavares High School and as well for my club, so I'm really excited to get to work with her again. She's a phenomenal setter and a very good leader on the court. Her IQ is far beyond most players that I have seen before. Grace is also a really great setter, a great asset to the team, brings a lot of positive energy to everybody. And Sydney's what we like to call a baller. You put her on the court, she's going to do exactly what you need her to do, bringing the energy, and they're really going to lead these freshmen into a really great season.
Part of that magical 2022 team that you had there over at Tavares High School. So that was a terrific team a couple of years ago. What are you most looking forward to this upcoming year?
I'm just looking forward to seeing what they can do. I think this group of girls is really motivated. We've, met at the beginning of season, set a lot of goals, and I think that they're going to be really excited to see what goals they actually meet because I think that's going to go far beyond what they actually even imagined for the season.
Patrick, I'll ask you the same question. What are you most looking forward to as we kick off the academic and athletic season?
Yeah, I mean, this is like Christmas in August, for us. This is, we get all the students back. Friday, August 16th, we have our student athlete orientation. We'll have them all back, kind of welcome them, the freshmen in and the sophomores back. And, so excited to get that, that we start on August 23rd, 24th we're hosting 4 other teams over those couple of days for a tournament at our place. So come over and catch out the team, but just excited to get them back. And again, we've been adding a lot of tools. Like I said, we just had the new strength conditioning coach. And matter of fact, this morning I was asking, with Alisha and a new coach, I said, how's the team, been? And, Robert Boucher, who's our new coach, said, I always know it's going good when they ask for more exercises and more reps. And so, just that idea of getting them into the weight room, getting bigger, faster, stronger. I'm excited to see that for all of our teams. But, I told you about Christy having the 40 individuals, Rich Billings and our baseball coach and Jay Miller, our softball, have both said this might be the most talented recruiting class they've recruited to come in. So I do believe what's happening is our students and athletes in the areas are starting to recognize who Lake-Sumter State is and what we're able to bring to them and their futures. Yeah. And, we're seeing the fruits. So we had a Division I athlete go for beach volleyball. We had a pitcher from 2 years ago that signed with University of Miami down in Florida. 10 of our 12 guys that could go on signed 4-year contracts with baseball. So we're seeing the fruits of all these labors, and that's what I'm getting most excited about is that trajectory of just continuing to get better and better and, integrate the new coaches with some. I mean, Jay's been here 15 years and, Rich is 15 years. Jay's going to be at his 9th year. So we're excited. It's going to be a great year, and I love our student athletes. I like being around them and seeing their energy and their positivity. So when you're in the summer and you don't see them every day, now you get them back, and I can't wait. I ran into one in the weight room the other day, and it was like he had a mustache. So it's kind of like, what happened during the summer? But just that connectivity is what's so awesome about Lake-Sumter State College athletics.
And not just that, but you started a track and field program, and you have Coach Snellgroves, who's worked with some of the best athletes in all of sports. I mean, she She works with the athletes down at the National Training Center in Claremont, which is really exciting. Can you talk about her and sort of what you got going on as far as the track program goes?
Yeah, and I mean, it's really nice. I mean, certainly if you watch the Olympics over that, Noah Lyles was a pretty big name, and I think he did okay. I think he got a gold and a bronze, and but he works out down there, and he works a lot with Christy, and he's actually served as an assistant coach with us, and still comes down and competes. And actually had a conversation with Christy this morning that one of the individuals that finished fourth in the 100 is an American as well, and he too trains and wants to be an assistant coach with us. And so just the fact that our location with the National Training Center with Orlando Health down there is huge for us, and then this is again that first time where Christy was really able to get out with her assistant coaches and coach and find those new people. And I think we have about 5 or 6 volunteer coaches that are going to be joining us. So we're starting to build a program, and it, sometimes it takes time. And so I think much like what, Alisha said is she wants to build a program, and we've had some of that, but now what can we do in each of our sports to really start building these programs for the long term while we're taking 2 years each time to help these young people get where they want to go. And so I think we got the perfect situation for us to be able to do all that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, certainly you have a 61-31 record at Tavares High School, and we have so much talent in Lake and Sumter County to choose from. When you go and you scout players and stuff like that to get them to come to Lake-Sumter State College, are you going to be looking at local players, players all around the United States? Like, how does that look as far as that goes?
Yeah, definitely. My first goal is going to absolutely from the community. I think that we have a lot more talent than people actually know. It's a big county with a lot of really, really talented programs. And I definitely want to give, I know that was a big part of me, was being able to play at Lake-Sumter as a hometown and, kind of represent for our community. And I think that's a big thing for some of these girls as well. But I'm also, we're going to be here to compete, and I'm going to recruit from wherever we need to recruit to make sure that happens. But it's definitely going to start here in the community.
And we have, like you said, if you're not a Division I athlete, if you're not going to NCAA Division I, maybe you go to a JUCO or you go to a Lake-Sumter State College, you're able to build that over the next couple of years. I think the baseball program and the softball program is a perfect example of that, where these kids come in, they're able to refine their skills and eventually get to that level. I think that's really important going forward.
Yeah, I think it's really important too. Especially because that's exactly what happened to me. I coming out of high school, I didn't get the offers that I exactly wanted. But Lake-Sumter gave me that opportunity to come in, to compete a little bit more, to get a bit more playing time. And then I did get those offers that I was looking for. So it just gives you one more opportunity to have that chance.
Yeah, it certainly does. And really, Lake-Sumter State College is the land of opportunity when you think of it. So many things that you got going right over there. What else do you have going over at Sumter College this year?
Yeah, I think, you just kind of hit on it. We're the fastest growing junior college in the state of Florida, so we do have a lot to do. And some of the things we've been able to add from a resource side to provide for our student athletes. And, you made the comment, even if you're not a D1 athlete. And here's the thing, we're starting to get D1 athletes or Division II athletes. It just may be that the timing for them to go to a 4-year didn't make sense. Again, it could be the NIL, it could be the NCAA transfer portal, it could be grades, it could be they haven't grown yet, they haven't, there's all these different, we had a baseball player that just from the end of April to the end of summer when I saw him, what have you been doing? Because it's like, and coach even said, I now have to find a place for him. So, they develop, and we just don't know when they're going to develop. And so those things I think are really important. What are we doing? From an athletic standpoint, certainly we're trying to just continue to, move up the ladder. We want to be an escalator. How do we keep trying to just get a little bit better? And, I'm really excited about, Jay Miller, our softball coach, has done a lot with mental wellness and, some additional studying. And so he's going to be our new, he's going to be our softball coach, but he's also going to be our new director of student athlete development. So we're going to put a lot more time into how do we develop young people through leadership, mental training, mental wellness, mental being education, but really talking to our student athletes about what's important to them today, and then being able to take that feedback and go, oh, you know what, maybe test anxiety is something that they're dealing with. Let's get somebody in to talk to them. How can we help them with that stuff? With, again, the idea of trying to create this total student athlete and student at the end of the day, that when they graduate from here and they're going on to that next chapter in their life, they're more prepared to do that. That's the ultimate goal. And whether that's the job force or going to college or keep playing and go to college, what does that look like? And I do think we've done a heck of a job. I mean, we just got done with convocation, and our, kind of the campus's motto is start to finish, which from an athletic director's side, bring it on, because that's an athletics thing, right? Start to finish. I mean, it looks like the Olympics. We have been doing start to finish in athletics forever. We have to, keep them eligible, and we have to do this and get them to graduate and do all these things. So I love that our campus is taking this motto for the year and really using this, because I think it's easy. It's easy to hear and see and say, how do I get you started with your classes? And how do I help you through this process, with the idea that ultimately we want you to get your degree and move on and be better. So I think that's a huge one. You're going to see a lot from Lake-Sumter State College about start to finish.
Coach, what is most important to you with your athletes? I know you have them for 2 years. What's going to be the most important part of their journey?
Making them more prepared. Exactly like he was just saying. I am a teacher by trade, so academics is very important to me. That student athlete part, that student comes first. So, really making sure that they're being academically successful. One of the things that I told the girls this year is that integrity is going to be a word that you hear from me a lot, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the court. That's going to be a really big part of our process, and just making sure that, we are a team of integrity and making sure that we kind of share that within our community.
What's a successful 2024 season look like for you? I know that's going to be a tough question because this is your first collegiate season. But what does that look like for you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I want to take what Coach Phelps has done and just really grow upon it. They ended with a 15-12 season last year. A lot of our goals are, can we increase that? That's our first step, is, just working on the wins for the season. But also we're working to be, I don't know if I can say this, the best academic team on campus. That's one of our goals, is to make sure that our team GPA is higher than any of the other teams. It's just things that we want to strive for and make sure that we're bettering in all aspects of being a student athlete.
She mentions the academics portion. Well, at Lake-Sumter State College, you had a 3.32 GPA collectively for all your sports teams, which is really exciting. I think that's one of the highest in the college's history.
Yeah, it's been good. We've had several semesters now with 3.0 and above, and I think she's hit it on the head. There is that competitive competition as well through wanting to be good academically, and I think our young people are starting to realize that when they're successful in the classroom, they tend to be more successful in their personal life. They tend to be more successful in their, in their athletic life, and if all those things sort of are in alignment and balanced, they're going to be even more successful. We don't talk a lot about wins and losses. I think as coaches and as administrators getting into the sport, we're competitive. But the byproduct of doing things the right way, focusing on being better every single day. How do we get bigger, faster, stronger? How do we go to class? How do we, turn in our papers on time and give our best? If you do all those things, it is amazing the transition you'll see within yourself and as a teammate, but we will see the wins come. And I think as you look at, as you've talked about the GPAs and you look at our wins, and, like baseball had a 7-win improvement from, 2 years ago to last year. He's excited about this year. How do we just keep improving? And a lot of that is that we're creating wonderful resources in these opportunities, and the byproducts are becoming more wins, which of course, that's why our students compete, right? They want to win. And so, but I want them to win in all facets of their life. Go through the adversity, learn from it, be better people, because as we know, things aren't always going to be 100% the way we want them. We're not always going to be happy. We're going to go through things, but that's what individuals like Alisha were hired for, is to make an impact in our young women. The Rich Billings and the Jay Millers and the Christy Snellgroves and, the Neil Stanleys with Beach. They're making an impact in young people's lives, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to focus on.
What does that feel like to make an impact in these young women's lives? Because you have been doing that for quite some time now. You did it at Leesburg, you did it at Tavares, Mount Dora. Now you do it at a collegiate level. So I guess it's a little different at the collegiate level because the fundamentals, they all know the basic fundamentals now. But in high school, you're sort of still trying to teach them the basics. Now that you have a collegiate team, what is that like, and what is it sort of like to have an impact on these young women?
I think it's huge to have an impact on each of them. I know as a student athlete myself that the biggest impacts in my life were always my coaches. I still remember, my first coaches until my last coaches. And I think that, you learn. So now I'm going into my 15th year of coaching, and now I am being invited to weddings and being invited to baby showers, and and I'm still a really big part of these girls' lives even 15 years later. And I think that's when you know that you're successful, right? They want you to continue to be part of your lives, continue to be a mentor. They don't remember what their records were, 10, 15 years ago, but they do remember what impact you made on them. And I think that that's, the biggest part of being a coach.
I was talking to some of the people at the Villages game last night. The Tavares played the Villages last night, and they were, everybody was, every now and then they'd bring up Coach Wintersdorf's name and what an impact that you've had on the community. That must feel really good for you to have spent your time here in Lake County and have made an impact. That's so important, I think.
No, it really is. I mean, the community has given so much to me that I am just thankful that I'm able to have that same opportunity to give back to it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's all about giving back. I mean, with Lake-Sumter State College, you have people who have come through the program. They come back to the program and give back. I think that's really important as well as you continue to grow.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I tell people a lot, you asked about what do you think is success? And one of the things I love to do is that when a young person's ready to, they've graduated and they're walking out the door, if you can ask them, if you had a chance to do it again, would you? And if they say yes, then you did what you needed to do.
Yeah.
And it may be a roller coaster through that process. It could be choppy. It could be walking in a brick road, and that, it may not be smooth, but what did we do to make an impact? And then watching them, like she said, seeing the weddings, seeing the emails, or thanks for making an impact, or, them coming back saying, hey, coach, can you go to lunch? And, things. I mean, you talk about the Villages, I got a phone call after we started the golf program, and one of the, he's a former elementary school teacher in Eustis, but he played golf when we had it back. I didn't even know we had golf initially, but he's already done so much. He's so excited to be back involved with Lake-Sumter. And so even somebody like that, that's maybe retired from their position, but just that. But to be able to see our young people just thrive. I mean, that's why I do what I do. I don't do it to be the director of athletics. I do it because I can walk in every day. I can see, their victories and their defeats and what they're going through. And at the end of the day, they say, thank you. And you know what? That's all I need. If I know that they're ready to that next one. I was helping a young man do some paperwork, and it's just like, thank you for all your help and for helping me get to where I'm going to be. And I'm like, go get it, and I'll follow you, and I can't wait to see you more home runs and this and that. So
absolutely. We're going to take one final short break here on the Sports Hub. When we come back, we'll wrap up next.
Are you ready for your future to take flight? Whether you're graduating high school or looking to level up, Lake-Sumter State College offers affordable degrees and certificates that will punch your ticket to success in a rewarding career. Plus, with programs like Direct Connect to UCF, your opportunities with LSSC are endless. So, what are you waiting for? Join us in Leesburg, Claremont, Sumterville, Four Corners, or online. Learn more at lssc.edu.
Hey everybody, welcome back on the Sports Hub podcast. We're here talking with Lake-Sumter State College, and we're talking with Alisha Wintersdorf, the head coach of the volleyball program, and Padraic McMeel, who is the executive director of athletics. I want to thank you both for coming on to the program.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I want to ask you guys one final question. I'll ask Alisha first. What's your favorite thing about being a head coach?
So as I mentioned earlier, I am a teacher by trade, and it's kind of the same thing as in the classroom as it is in the coaching. Is I just want to see the growth, right? Are you making an impact socially, physically, academically? I just like to watch all those things come to light, and as a coach, just the impact that you have on the kids is my favorite part.
Padraic, you're the executive director of athletics at Lake-Sumter State College. Very, very prized position, and we're so glad to have you here in Lake County. What is your favorite part about working for Lake-Sumter State College?
I mean, with Lake-Sumter specifically, just the area, the location, and the growth that we've got, But for me as a director of athletics, I had an experience when I was a student athlete going to college, and it's funny, I never really thought much about it until about 15 years later when I sort of had one of those V8 moments. It's really, I love to serve people. So at the end of the day, I want to be able to say, did I play a part to positively impact people? And in our case, we're able to impact young people, coaches, and athletic staff, and then other people that are part of the university, maybe the community. So that's what I want to see. I had dinner with or breakfast with a young man that worked for me who's now working at the University of Florida, and he actually got hired by another person that I had hired at the university, that I had hired completely somewhere else, but got hired at Florida. And so now 2 of my favorite people who had worked for me are now working at the University of Florida in athletics and doing what they love. And just knowing that I had a small piece of their journey was pretty awesome. And so anything that we can do to continue to support whatever journey that these young people are on, I want to be able to help our coaches, our staff, and, myself. What can we do to help them get where they want to go and be successful?
And we wish you the best of luck on the 2024 school year and the athletics calendar as well. We're looking forward to the opening games of the season coming up. I believe August 24th is when the first games are. You're hosting that tournament at Lake-Sumter State College. So thank you both for coming on to our program.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks so much, and go Layhawks.
Go Layhawks, exactly. Want to wrap up. I want to thank UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics and Lake-Sumter State College. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. We'll see you on the next edition of the Sports Hub.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.